Apologize again.
Pass around the review.
Oh, good idea.
I can pull up a copy. I can share them.
If you want separating that, editing.
I'm trying to look at my screen and see if we can read the. Okay.
And the last one, 52. Yeah. And the other down. Yeah.
Hey, Gary, can you hear me? Okay, so let's start this over again.
So pull that microphone, you can just put it right up next to you, up there. There you go. And speak. But Matt, can you tell everyone again?
Yes.
What you told us?
Good evening. My name is Matt Hollenbeck. I'm the head producer for the Medina Triennial. We're based in Medina, New York, down at the old Napa store on 345 Main Street. This evening, I'd like to talk to you about a couple of sites that we have identified as some key places that we'd love to exhibit our work of our artists for the next summer exhibition. We're joined by Carrie Conti, the co-executive director for the Medina Triennial this evening. She's going to run you through some of the slides that she's created. There are 4 artists in question and 4 sites that we have here tonight. But I'll let Carrie talk and we'll get started. I apologize for the delay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, great, cool. So I know it's pretty late, so I'll just do this in about 5 minutes or so, if that sounds good. So thank you all for having us today at the meeting. So as Matt mentioned, we are in not quite the home stretch, but really in production mode for the Triennial, which, as I think most of you know, is an initiative of the New York Power Authority and Canal Corporation. Will be a big art festival opening on June 6th, and we will be bringing 35 artists from all over the world to Medina to make new work, and expect about 50,000 visitors. A significant economic impact on Medina, which we will be highlighting really as a place of innovation and cultural development. And so I wanted to talk to you this evening about a few different sites that we're interested in presenting work at. So the idea of a triennial, which basically means it happens every 3 years, but the model is that it's spread throughout the place where it is held. And so we will have about 10 different locations, and some will be inside buildings, and about 4 or 5 locations will be outdoors. And the Triennial will actually be the first, there's only a couple in the country, but it will be the first one that's fully free. And so we want to make it accessible to everyone, regardless of art knowledge or economic barriers. So it's pretty incredible that this will be done at such a significant scale and will be at no cost to visitors. So we would like to use some of the parks and public lands for artist projects in the village. And Matt, I think, printed out a couple of the projects that we need to find different sites for. Maybe I can just give you a quick summary and kind of let you know where we're at with these projects. And I'd love to, maybe not tonight because it's so late, but, brainstorm with everyone about possible sites to have this artwork. The first one, maybe Matt, should I share screen or it's okay because you have the printouts?
Well, they have the printouts. I would just go through it side by side. But I don't know about brainstorming tonight. I think we're just really presenting.
No, I said we're not going to do it. I said another time. I know it's late there. The first one is an artwork by a Canadian duo, Richard Ibge and Mary Lou Lemons. They're quite well known in Canada and have exhibited their work all over the world. And they have basically created a very whimsical, funny, playful artwork called Community Tool Shed for the Birds. And it's a tool shed for birds. It consists of very commonplace, everyday, small materials like feathers, stones, thread, plastic, paper, and other kinds of found materials. And the idea, and of course it's, you know, an imaginative idea, is that birds are able to access this tool shed and find different kinds of items to build their nests. So we'd love to site this in Rotary Park. And so we'll be coming to the village, I guess, with an application for that or with more details. It's not so big. It's, you know, about 6-7 feet tall, about 3 feet wide. It's durable. It's an artwork that I think, you know, people of all kind of ages and backgrounds would love and understand. And so that's the first piece. The second piece, actually, which is page 3, maybe we'll do this one second. It's an artwork called I Traveled 66 Million Years to Be With You, and Then You Came. It's a work that was created this year and exhibited by a municipality in Cornwall in England. The artist is South Korean, but she lives in Berlin. And basically it's an artwork that was created with scientists. And there's kind of a barnacle on the top. And this barnacle has all different kinds of natural materials and water filtering properties. And so as the water goes through it, it creates purified water for birds and insects and other living creatures. It's incredibly beautiful work. And we would like to site this, install it in State Street Park. And we're open to different sites in the park, but hope that it can have some kind of relationship with the canal and the water, because in terms of its meaning, that would make the most sense. So we'll be figuring out how we can make an application for that. And also appreciate, of course, everyone's advice. I mean, Matt can, you can find the email on the website, but, you know, happy to talk to anyone about any concerns or ideas, or if anyone has other ideas about places to cite these works. Very eager to have conversations with everyone. The next work is one of the bigger new commissions. It's page 2. It doesn't have a title yet. It's by artist James Beckett. Some of you have definitely met James. He's been around. He's been staying in Medina on and off since May as part of our residency program. And James is an artist who's quite well known for creating architectural large-scale sculptures. And he's been doing a lot of research into stone and particularly sandstone, and is working with the University of Buffalo to kind of use this new scientific architectural technology that's being developed at the Bartlett School in the UK, where you kind of fit stones together to build buildings or structure without cutting into them. So creating the least amount of waste as possible. It's really, really fascinating. And James would like to create these sculptures that are kind of modeled after the stone pillars you find at the entrance to farms. And he's identified Gulf Street Park. We know there's some water drainage issues there, and we're hoping to discuss that more. He's done a lot of work in similar sites that have needed water mitigation. So there's some initial ideas on the table about excavating the soil to the underlying stone and then draining groundwater during the installation, and then establishing foundations that water can pass through rather than accumulate. But that's, all up to discussion. So there's a fourth outdoor artwork by Scott Hawking, Detroit-based artist, and we're still thinking about different sites for that. But basically, that's what we're looking at, and be great to talk more. Aside from these artworks, I would love to have if anyone has any ideas, we're looking for a space to rent to have one artist do 1 month of welding. We're looking for a space for stone storage, the concrete floor. We're looking for housing for artists. So all of these kinds of things are coming up really fast. Just to kind of throw it out there so that, maybe, we'll figure out all these things together. But thank you so much. I don't know if there are any questions or next steps or if we have a few more minutes to have this on the table, Marguerite.
Mhm. Does anyone have any initial questions? These will be, I think that we've discussed that these are going to be up for 3 months with the possibility of permanency if we like them with permission from the artist. Correct?
Correct. So 3 months, June 6th to September 7th. And actually it's really exciting, I should say. The work by James Beckett, the stone pillars, is actually financially being supported by the Dutch government. So we can almost think of it as like this, gift from the Netherlands to New York State, which is a really nice idea. And we're super happy that we were able to be awarded funding for this project from the Netherlands.
And I believe that James said that these would be interactive pillars that, people could interact with. They can climb on, they'll be sturdy, they'll be.
Yes. So there'll be an engineer. As I said, it's being developed with the architecture department. So there'll be various stages of development and build out for it. It'll be really beautiful installation.
Looks like it takes up a lot of room. They're pretty good size. Can you hear me?
You said it takes up a lot of
It
room?
looks like they're pretty good size. It looks like they take up a lot of room. Is that correct? You're looking
The
at
pillars?
Yeah.
They're scalable. So I think the highest one is like 6 feet, maybe a little bit taller, but they're scalable. I mean, that's not necessarily the final installation. This is, still, not super early development, but still in the earlier development stages. So I think James envisions it about taking up a span of maybe 25 or 30 feet total. So not huge, not across the whole park.
And again, in the future, well, not again, in the future, we're going to approach the board on the 12th and 26th to talk about signage in town, something that will go beyond the historical district planning board appropriate application. But we'll get there when we get there. We have a lot of work to do between now and next summer.
So they're going to need board approval for any of the village space to put these art projects in, and that's why Carrie wanted to speak on it today. Everyone can take these home and digest them, and then we'll discuss them again on January 12th. And Matt's in town a lot. Carrie's usually in Medina a lot.
Yes.
And,
it's true. I've been there pretty much all of the fall, back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
So if anyone would like to meet with any of them, just give the word and we'll reach out, and I can give you their email addresses, or we can set up a meeting or a walk and talk. But they will need board approval to put them in our parks. Does anyone have any more questions of Carrie or Matt? Okay, Carrie.
All right.
Yes,
See you
thank you
later.
very much.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night, everyone. Stay
You too.
warm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If anyone would like a copy of this, we can make more copies, so that you're more than welcome to take one, and just so we have one and make copies for the board. Yes.
I also have 4 copies here.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Great. Okay, thank you very much. Jason, do you have a department head report?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay, being that, none of the other chiefs are here, thank everybody for their help for the parade. Everything went well for the parade of lights. Thank you to Keeler Construction for the use of their light plants and cones. Also, thank you to the Emergency Management Office for the use of their equipment as well. Been out plowing and salting a few times this past month. The new salter is in service and working well. Sidewalk plow's been out a couple times. Had a mechanical issue with the little small compact loader. Dan couldn't diagnose it, so we had to send that to the New Holland dealer. They're currently being worked on. Last week, Tuesday, we unloaded 105 boxes of wreaths for the wreaths across America this past Saturday, and guys came in and spread those out through Boxwood and St. Mary's and Sacred Heart cemeteries. Presume everything went well with that. The last round of leaf pickup was done after a couple rounds of snow, first part of December. We did the best we could, and a lot of them were hard to find because they were covered in snowbank. So hopefully we'll get everything cleaned up in the spring as well. We had a couple sewer backups. We ran the mains and got those flowing. I worked with Katie, who is the GIS rep for Wendell, to work on some of the stuff for Boxwood. We have pretty much all of that plotted out and straightened around, so we can start putting graves into the GIS and marking everybody. DN Tanks will be out tomorrow to do the inspection on the water tank, or at least give us, yes, basically do an inspection and probably give us an estimate on cost of some upkeep that will probably be needed on the tank. The new truck chassis is at Freightliner in Batavia. I have to go and do the final inspection on that so we can take delivery of that and get that paid to submit the chips before the next round of chips payments. Plan on doing a couple of water taps on Park Place on Wednesday or Thursday. Look like the weather's going to be really nice Wednesday, Thursday. And the bucket trucks are scheduled for their annual inspection this week. And after those are complete, we will begin cutting trees around the village that are on our endless list of trees to be cut.
Thank you, Jason. Does anyone have anything for Jason?
Yeah, Jason, I want to extend out the parade of lights. The crew did an excellent job at the end there. After we got done this or that, we had a musical thing, this or that, and walked through, and all the trash was picked up, new bags.
Yeah.
And they really did a nice job in a short period of time that they had.
The guys do a good job for sure. Thank all my guys for stepping up and taking care of the truck. Because we don't pick it up, it'll we have to pick it up off the streets later and be all blown over. So yes, they do an excellent job. Between you guys coming in the morning, setting up for the 5K, and then all the guys are coming in the evening to block the streets up and get all that stuff. Perfect, excellent job.
Did I see a new fencing around the dog park?
Yes, I forgot to put that in my report. Yes. The dog park, I don't know what you want to call it, association or
Friends of
whatever.
Medina Dog Parks.
Yeah. Thank you, Jess. They had a contractor come in and put in the next section. I hope the final section for smaller dogs at the dog park. They were done in a week, I think. They hammered their butts on get through the rock. But yes, that is complete. I have to get with Cindy to inquire with her about what she wants to do, because it looks like there's a lot of fencing material left from that project that I don't need to store anymore. If they're done putting up sections, I don't know if she wants to give that to their contractor that they just had doing that work or what, but like I said, I need to get with Cindy and see what she wants to do with it so we can get it out of the compost.
Was
Unless she
it,
wants to turn it over to us and we'll surplus it or whatever.
and that was approved prior or?
Yes,
I
that was
don't recall
approved by the prior board that all that, it was just a matter of them finding a contractor that wanted to do that section. Because originally they wanted to put it on the north side of the driveway. And I talked them out of that to put it all together in one spot. They were all in a line, so yeah, that was approved by the previous board.
Thank you. Jada?
I just wanted to report on the interest in your general fund. You earned $60,609.95. In the water fund, $15,676.34. And then in the in the sewer fund, $3,805.47. And I would like to call for an executive session to discuss a contractual matter involving someone in the clerk's office.
Thank you.
Can you be a little more specific? There's no contract in the clerk's office, so we can't do it under collective bargaining. I'm sure there's a way to do it, just that's not gonna be it. Is it involving hiring or promotion?
Not a promotion.
There's,
So the financial history of a particular person?
sounds
Yes.
right to me.
Thank you.
Okay. And Christian already gave his report and the board has received reports from the code enforcement officer and the fire chief. I'll open up the second public comment period. I have Brian Hellner, but I think he's left. Does anyone else have a public comment? Yeah. Hi, Tom Byrne.
Not trying to poke at it, I know it's a touchy subject, but just sitting here and listening to it, I try to always gather to a solution point. This is probably a very obvious question, but we have looked into renovation versus new build in regards to that.
Yes.
Okay, and it was probably deemed necessary that they wanted to, obviously in the same housing area for the ladder truck.
Yes.
So off the table on an off-site renovation type situation, or is this already been brought forward?
I mean, I don't know how far it could really be from the fire department, but it doesn't have, I don't know that it would have to be
Well, it
touched.
sounds like there's a lot of money that's obviously has to go in for an addition to an old building.
Mhm.
I'm sure is what the issue is there, but it just seems like that is a significant sum of money. for
It is.
something to that. And I'm just wondering, on my own personal inquiry, but also, maybe to strike a light bulb here. There's got to be a better solution, than all of those $1 million in that, and to utilize the same property that sits on even. Like I can see, like, obviously monetarily, you're going way up when you try to match facade, fit into that and everything else. I'm just more inquiring about it, that the board and the village has done its due diligence and making sure that all efforts were taken to minimize the cost. So I'm sure it has. And then, Mayor, I heard you say it's a process, and that is the process. But, and just my personal experience, 30 years experience in the fields and whatnot, but it's also a process for a lot of people to take advantage of public funding. And I'm sure that this board has a pretty significant vetting process and the contractors that they're trying to use and multiple different bids and everything else.
Yes, we have to follow.
rounds.
That's part of the process.
Two
Yeah.
rounds and just for my own personal as well, where have you landed on that? what million for the proposed addition?
So 1.3 million
And that's
with the soft costs initial.
And is that all on public record to see that?
Mhm.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you. That's all I got. Everybody have a good night.
Thank you. I know that's one of the things that Scott has had a hard time wrapping his head around too, because when you're building in a municipality, it's different than a private contractor and the funds utilized for private contractors. And we have a procurement policy to follow. And yeah, we have a lot of rules to live by, which was an eye opener, is an eye opener for a lot of people. Thank you, though.
I just hope that we get to this.
We do need to get to a solution, yes. Thanks. Anyone else? Okay, I'll close the public comment period. So we are going to go back to the MOU for the police department. While we were waiting for Matt to set up, we passed it down. I'll be happy to read it to everyone if you want to read it. So I will skip the whereas, right? That you, or do you, okay. So the parties have discussions regarding a mutually agreeable resolution to address these circumstances. By the way of the memorandum of agreement, the parties seek to memorialize and reduce those agreements in writing. Now, therefore, the village and the PBA agree as follows. 1, the village will provide a computer in the police department day room with a time clock application to be used for recording time worked. 2, police department employees will have the option to record their hours worked utilizing either the village computer or the village designated time clock cell phone application. 3, police department employees will record start and end times for each shift worked via time clock. Employees shall have a window for recording their start and end times within 15 minutes before or after their scheduled shift. In the event an employee does not record their start or end times, they shall notify the tour supervisor as soon as practicable and shall confirm their missed start or end time in writing to the tour supervisor. This window shall not affect the required starting and ending times of scheduled shifts under the CBA or the requirement in Article 25 of the CBA that employees must be in gear and ready to begin patrol and or other assigned law enforcement duties at the commencement of their scheduled shift. The parties agree and understand that this does not replace any other existing procedures for recording attendance, hours worked, or overtime. 5, the parties understand the village has not adopted the time clock for purpose of disciplining employees for tardiness and attendance. However, the parties recognize that time clock records may be utilized to confirm or demonstrate tardiness, attendance, or other hours and time-related issues when the village and or chief of police deems appropriate. Police department employees who are directly reporting for duty or ending duty at a location other than the police department, for example, training, court, special assignment, shall not be required to record their start and or end times as set forth in this MOA. This MOA shall become effective upon full execution by all parties. This MOA does not alter any other terms or conditions of the CBA that expired on May 31st, 2023. This MOA shall be appended to and be part of the parties' CBA. The terms and conditions set forth in this MOA represent the full and complete understanding of the parties regarding this matter. Any modification, alteration, or amendment to the MOA must be made in writing and signed by the village and the PBA. Any claim violation of this MOA may be submitted for resolution through the grievance procedure set forth by the CBA. The PBA agrees this MOA resolves all alleged violations raised in improper practice charge case number U39892. The PBA will execute and file a withdrawal request and take all other actions necessary to withdraw this charge before the State of New York Public Employment Relations Board. So this is nothing new. This has been discussed ever since we adopted the time clock procedures after our last budget meeting. We just had to go, we just had to cross our T's and dot our I's with the unions. And so this is nothing new to the board, just the agreement that Jess and I forgot to forward to the board.
And then and then as far as section
Sorry, I
number six,
closed it.
that's all right. So the paragraph 6, like, so just, I don't know, just clarify that for me a little bit.
Yeah, if they got called in because there was a mass casualty event and they all had to go there, they would not have to stop at the police department and clock in first.
Right, but they would still record because it says they shall not be required to record their starter.
As set forth in this MOA, but it also says in here that it doesn't replace any existing procedures. You're gonna do an OT sheet, just like you always would.
Thank you,
They asked that same question.
thank you.
Okay, is the board prepared to make a motion to allow the mayor to sign this MOA?
I got a question. Is the fire department using the same thing or
Yes,
have they been signing in or?
they have a computer and some use their phones, I believe, right, Jada? But there is a computer designated. Most use the computer in the fire station, I think.
You'd really have to like talk to Miranda. For clarification, I'm not familiar with that. She does the payroll.
I'm pretty sure they have a computer specifically for that in the fire station also.
So after this is done, everybody will be on the time clock then.
Yes.
All right, I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion by Marciano. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, second by Padelewski. I heard her chime in first. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Okay,
All right, then you want the motion for the executive?
yes, I
session?
do.
All right, can I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss the financial history of an individual in the clerk's department?
Okay.
Second by, a motion by Marciano, a second by Prowl. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We are in executive session.